this video, we'll be showing the migration of a Lotus Notes client application to DOCOVA running on the SQL platform. This application is representative of real-life complexity, but it's still simple enough that we can show it in a reasonable amount of time. The context is a CRM application containing a variety of information, such as accounts, contacts, leads, and opportunities. If we take a look at one of the account records, we can see that it contains information about the company, as well as embedded sections for contacts, opportunities, and leads. If we take a look at the leads section and open up one of the lead records for this company, we can see information about the lead and also that we have a Convert to Opportunity button. If we click on the button and fill in some details about this new opportunity, what we're doing is we're converting the lead into a new sales opportunity record. Let's go ahead and click OK. You'll see it tells us that it's converted this lead into an opportunity record. It's opened up the opportunity that it's newly created from this lead. Let's go ahead and save and close. What we can see now is we've got this new opportunity sitting in the accounts opportunity listing. Next, we're going to create a new account record and fill in some information. We can see that the form contains a mixture of information, such as drop-down fields, text fields, keyword options, as well as dynamic hide whens. You'll see when I select certain drop-down options, different fields are going to appear, or hide, depending on the choices that I'm selecting. So let's go ahead and save this new account. So you can see the new account that we've just created appears in the account listing in the view. Now we're going to take this application and migrate it into DOCOVA running on an SQL platform and show you how all this functionality is retained. Here we are in DOCOVA, which is a browser-based application. If you take a look at the URL up at the top, you'll see that there's no reference to Domino, no references to an NSF, and that's because we're accessing this on a completely different environment running in an SQL backend with a Apache-based server in this case. An important thing to note about DOCOVA is if you're looking to migrate your Notes and Domino-based applications is that DOCOVA takes care of a lot of the work for you. We have a workspace for accessing your applications, a dashboard for displaying a variety of widgets and reports, as you can see. Along the left-hand side, I can navigate to different applications. So I've got a listing of recently used applications. I can get a listing of all applications that I have access to. And within DOCOVA, there's also some system applications that come pre-built or pre-provided. We have an admin client for administering the system. We have a federated search for searching across all of your applications and libraries. We have a libraries component for storing electronic documentation. We have an app builder for developing new applications or maintaining existing applications. All of this is provided for you with DOCOVA as part of the standard offering, and it will run on any of your common browsers, using desktop or mobile devices, either on-premises or in a cloud environment. All of these features and user interface components are pre-built for you. Now, to migrate this custom notes application, we first need a container. From the workspace, let's create a new CRM application. I'm going to give it a title, description, and choose an icon. Okay, when I create the new application, you'll see it appears in my recently used applications list. If I try and open it up, what we're going to see is that it's empty. It's just a container or a stub. We're going to import an existing application into this environment. So if I open up this application in App Builder, App Builder is a low-code application development environment which allows applications to be built quickly and easily, either with no code or using sophisticated code depending on the skill set of the developer. App Builder supports many of the constructs that were common to Notes and Domino. Things such as subforms, embedded views, response documents, computed fields, hide whens, etc. This is required if you're going to be migrating a custom notes-based application to a non-Domino platform such as SQL. So what we could do is we could go ahead and rebuild the application from scratch. As you can see, from within App Builder, I can create a new form, give it a name, type in a field label, and I can drag in a field and change some of its properties. I can also choose from a variety of different field elements to add to my form. But in this case, we're going to import the entire application in bulk. I'm going to go to the Properties and select Migrations, Import Application. I enter the path to the source Notes application and click Import. What's happening now is that all of the design elements in the Notes application are being imported into DOCOVA. But it's important to note that this is not a copy and paste, but rather we're converting the design elements to run on a completely different platform, in this case an SQL environment. App Builder uses its knowledge of the Notes environment to translate design elements and code to a standardized framework. Forms and subforms are converted to HTML. Formulas and LotusScript are converted to the JavaScript and PHP languages. @formula functions and Notes API properties and methods are converted to the appropriate DOCOVA API objects and functions. App Builder utilizes the DOCOVA API as part of its translation. The API in DOCOVA provides well-structured, object-oriented classes, properties, and methods to handle many of the same processes as Notes, thereby allowing @formula and LotusScript code to be translated to open-source languages like JavaScript and PHP. If any issues are encountered during the import, App Builder will flag the design elements for later review by a developer. By taking care of the heavy lifting, App Builder frees up IT resources so that multiple applications can be migrated in bulk and then enhanced if needed, rather than wasting time on manual migrations or rewrites. Now that the application import is finished, we can see that it has migrated all of the forms from the original Notes application. If we open one of the forms, we can see the user interface elements have been migrated. Labels, fields, computed text, tables, subforms, hidden fields, buttons, sections, and action buttons have all been transferred over. Views have also been migrated. If we open a view, we can see that column properties have been migrated and maintained. Any column formulas will have been translated automatically to DOCOVA script, which is a PHP and JavaScript-based API. Frame sets have been translated into layouts. Subforms have been translated. Outlines have been migrated to menus. LotusScript libraries have been translated to JavaScript libraries. If we open one of these libraries, we can see that the code has been converted to easily readable, maintainable code, which makes use of the DOCOVA API to provide classes, objects, and constructs that can be easily understood by your existing development staff. LotusScript server-side agents have been translated to PHP. Again, we make use of the DOCOVA API during the migration to ensure that the resulting PHP code is well formatted and easily maintained. Now let's migrate the data. I'm going to go back into the application properties and select Migrations, Import Application Data. I'm going to enter in the path to the source NSF database and click Import. App Builder imports the records, indexes the views, and most importantly, updates security. DOCOVA takes care of migrating your application security all the way from the database access control list to document, author, and reader fields. Now that we've finished importing the data, let's take a look at the application and how it loads up now. This time, when we open up the application, we can see the user interface and all the data records have migrated across. If we open an account record, we can see that the form layout is very similar. Collapsible sections have been maintained. Embedded views have been migrated. If we take a look at the Opportunities section, we can see that the opportunity that we created before migrating has been imported. Now let's take a look at some of the more sophisticated application logic to see how it's fared in the migration. Just as we did with the Notes client, let's convert a lead into an opportunity. Just like before, we open up the lead and select the Convert to Opportunity button. The dialog appears for us to fill out any information about this new opportunity. We'll fill in some information. Let's go ahead and save this opportunity. Again, we can see the status message telling us that the new opportunity has been created from the lead. Now, if we go take a look at the account, we can see that that new opportunity has been attached to this particular account record, just like it was in the Notes client. So let's take a look at creating a new account. We'll enter some information, and just like before, we can see that as we fill in the fields, certain hide whens display extra fields just like it did in the Notes client, showing us extra information that's available. Drop-down choices have all transferred across. Let's go ahead and save this new account, and here we can see the new account we've just created. The migrated application we've been looking at is visually very similar to the original CRM Notes application. We do this on purpose to reduce or remove the need for users to retrain after migration. It also makes it easier for support staff to test and maintain the new application. However, it's important to note that this is just the default import behavior, designed to allow you to migrate your existing applications as quickly and efficiently as possible. Let's take a look at how easy it is to make changes after migration. I'm going to open the application in App Builder and navigate to the Menus section. I can edit one of the navigation menus and with a simple change modify the style of the menu to be themed. Now if we return to the application, you can see that it immediately has a much different look to it. This is just a quick example, but with App Builder there are really no limits on the additional enhancements that you can add or make to your legacy Notes applications once they've been migrated to DOCOVA. In this demo we've been looking at a moderately complex application being migrated from Notes to DOCOVA without any immediate changes being required to use the migrated app after migration. However, in some cases, an application's logic might need to be tweaked due to specific code or logic that can't be translated automatically to a browser environment. DOCOVA provides a tool for flagging these potentially problematic elements. The DOCOVA Application Analyzer tool allows us to analyze a group of Notes applications and generate a report showing the complexity of the applications, which we can use for migration planning as well as post-migration deployment. One of the useful features of the analyzer is the flagging of code complexity. The analyzer can flag specific design elements that need to be reviewed or adjusted by a developer after migration. In this video, we've shown you how you can quickly and easily migrate a Notes client application to the browser environment. You can also migrate it so that it runs on a different database platform, such as SQL. If you have dozens of applications, hundreds or even thousands, it's simply not practical to rewrite them or even manually migrate them to other platforms. DOCOVA with App Builder does the heavy lifting for you. It will do the majority of the work, and then you can enhance the application once it's been migrated.